Hello, my beautiful little ghosties. We're back with Repurpose. I've been really loving this game. I know that we were doing Baldur's Gate for a really long time, but I'm really enjoying this a lot. I swear we will get back to Baldur's Gate at some point. But we're just kind of chilling with this game for the moment. But yeah, hi, welcome back. I hope you all have had a lovely day. I hope that you're taking care of yourself, in both mentally and physically. This game does have some mentions of like violence and horror sort of stuff, kind of. So just be aware of that. Take care of yourself. Yeah, I am in Enderian cosplay. As you can see, Enderian is a character on Fable SMP. I really enjoy cosplaying her. I'm just gonna real quick get something. Done. Alright, now that that's done, I think we're just gonna get straight into it. Oh, I did not think this through. I'm gonna have to take off my ears for this. I did not think through the fact that I needed to wear my headset. Which, like, I guess I could technically not, but, like, then I would just be playing... I mean, you guys can hear the game, but on my end, I would just be, like, playing in silence, which is not the vibe, so... Here we go. Alright. I keep on, like, readjusting myself in my chair. I'm, like, I'm slouching. I'm, like, sliding down and slouching really bad. And this is why I don't have long hair anymore. Alright. Let's get into it. Oh. I did not mean to do that. There we go. Okay. Load. Here we go. What have I gotten myself into? What? Don't look so surprised. Have you ever stayed at a 4-star hotel? The customer service is as bad as the customers themselves. No, but really, this is just a little gag we do to welcome the newcomers. Hell itself is out those doors. And this is just where a lot of newcomers stay since, you know, we all just arrived. Multiple souls start to spread out, the crowd splintering to return to their daily duties and lives, the newcomers wandering off to find their rooms for the immediate future. So, oh, also, I forgot to mention, the point that we're at in the game, we chose to go to End of Hell. This is the conversation that we're having, like, almost immediately after arriving in Hell. Hey, don't look so skittish. Remember, this is all completely consensual on your part. Hell isn't nearly what it's made out to... Hell isn't nearly what it's made to be by televangelists, Republicans, and my mama. Honestly, hell's barely any different than Earth, normally. I mean, yes, there's a little more eternal torment and fiery plains here and there, but that's more for the people that had it coming. Ah, right, sorry. This is just still so much to handle, death and all. It is for most people. Don't worry. Dying's a huge thing to have on your plate. Everyone comes to terms with it differently. What if I can't come to terms with it?
How about I show you around?
Oh my!
Walk with me.
I forgot how much I like his voice. Ramon gestures me out of the hotel and I see the true landscape of hell for the first time. It looks like a suburban city on Earth. What? Okay. I don't know where the writers of this are from, but this right here does not look like suburbia to me. It doesn't. It looks like, it looks a little bit like the Las Vegas Strip. Like a little. Granted, it was clearly a bit more risque with the amount of sex-themed stores and advertisements, but it's not even like the advertisements or anything like that I'm talking about. I'm talking about just like the amount of like packed in. I don't know if I just have like the wrong idea of what suburban is. Christ, Ramon really wasn't kidding. Something Earth Media does get right is the circles of hell. Well, sort of. You see, we're in the lust circle right now. It's where you'll find a majority of the population. Most people in hell live in the lust circle? Is there an echo in here? Humans are horny bastards. Well, most of them are, at least. Almost everyone has something that gets them going. If not, there are residential areas in every other circle, sans wrath and pride. But not only that, this is the most affordable circle of hell to live in. It's also where newly indoctrinated citizens start their new life, and it's where all the free residential housing exists. So unless you're heavily sex repulsed, most people just naturally gravitate towards living here. And even with people who are sex repulsed, we do our best to make arrangements for them. Hell is extremely accommodating, though things can be a little slow to get done around here, just from the sheer volume of people who exist. But as long as you're patient, you can get just about anything you want, and enjoy the finest establishments while you're at it. Ramon gestured for me to move on, and we started walking down the sidewalk. Just glancing around, I can tell there are stores and restaurants on almost every block. They all seem to have cheeky names of some kind, but I'm noticing a disturbing trend. There seems to be a lot of shops called Starfucks. Ramon notices my gaze and chuckles. You better get used to seeing that place. Starfucks is all over hell. You'll see it, and Sweetie Shakes, in particular, every circle. Sweetie Shacks? Shakes? Shakes. Shack. It shakes. It is. You'll see it, and Sweetie Shakes, in particular, in practically every circle. There's plenty of corporate giants down here, just like on Earth. I almost figured that dead chains would be down here, you know, like Bradley's. Corporations are all powerful, but they aren't people. Companies can't go to hell. That said, be careful with jokes like that, unless you really want to date yourself around the rest of us. Right. Thank you. I guess now's the time to ask Ramon some questions about my new home then. What should I ask about hell? The time of day, eternal punishment, the circles of hell, about demons. I don't have any more questions. The circles, yeah. Ah, the big question. Well, big question. Each of them are themed after one of Lucifer's generals. Lust, gluttony, sloth, envy, wrath, greed, and pride, in order from outermost to innermost. All of them grow and shrink as their population shifts. Helpful, given hell never stops growing. As you know, we're in lust right now. Apartments, hotels, sex shops, all the necessary residential services. Yeah, really necessary. Gluttony, of course, is where you'll find a lot more of the food chains. But it's also where extreme hobbyists flock to sate their adrenaline junkie needs. In terms of appearance, it's like if an amusement park was an entire country or state. So, like Florida? Exactly like Florida. Sloth is split into two areas, the east being a residential area. It's a lot like the Lust Circle in terms of commercial development, but not nearly as sexually themed. It's a little more expensive than out here, and there's far less hotels, but it's good for the people who have a lot of trouble adjusting. That's oddly thoughtful of hell. It might have the same shade of being a capitalistic hellhole at times, but hell actually cares about the people that live here. Meanwhile, in the West Sloth District is where you'll find the central hub of all things technological, magical, and whatever love child nerds produce by mixing the two. It's because of the advances of those fields that the East District can pass as a town on Earth, and why we have everything else you see around us, like robots and androids, and sex robots and androids. Right, so envy after that, right? Yes, that's where you'll find beauty centers, malls, and artists, and, find beauty centers, malls, the artsy types, and YouTubers. Oh my goodness. YouTubers go to hell. Mostly the ones that make reaction videos, unboxing videos, and lore videos about animatronics. But yeah, of course they do. Oh, that is hilarious. I love that. I love that so much. Okay, but like, part of me really wants, like, GT Live to do a reaction of this. Like, specifically this bit with the lore videos about animatronics. Well, shit. It's the most expensive place to live in hell, and you'll find about half of our celebrities there. Half? I'll get to that. Greeds after that, casinos, franchise, HQs, office buildings. Most people that live there are actually just government workers or politicians. Real shocker there. Wrath is an island. We have a moat to separate it from the rest of hell, just in case. That's where the maximum security torture centers are located, and where we keep the worst of the worst offenders. It's also where the other half of the celebrities end up. Really? Oh yeah, It's almost a joke here in hell that if you were famous on Earth, you'll end up there. Too many famous people have secret lives they never wanted anyone to know about. But we know. We know everything. I can't help but swallow at that. It's kind of terrifying to know someone knew every dark secret you've ever kept. It's like Santa Claus, but scary. And a little horny. But Wrath isn't just about our criminals. It's also where the headquarters of our military reside. Hell has a military? What? You expect criminals to just willingly turn themselves in for punishment? Someone's gotta make sure they've paid their dues. Fair. But there's also fun for the public on the island if you wish to visit, such as the professional sport rioting you can take part in. Sport rioting? Oh yeah, it's a great way to let out aggression. You should go sometime. Tell them I sent you. I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, the last one is Pride.
It is what it is.
It's small. I mean, it's the center of the rings. After all, it's kinda like the capital, elected officials, courts, etc. Is that where Satan lives? Completely separate entity, but yes, Lucifer lives there. I wouldn't go as far as saying you should be casual around them, but they're not some imposing, shadowy monster that lurks in a priest's closet. And that covers all the basics of the circles. Sorry for rambling, it's a lot. No worries, I was the one asking after all. What should I ask about hell next? Okay, eternal punishment. How does the whole eternal punishment thing work? I imagine you have a hell. The image you have of hell from back on Earth isn't entirely wrong. You know, the fields of punishment and all that. There's some truth to it. Anyway. Not anyway. Why can't I read today? I can never read. That's just the way I exist. I can never read. Anyone can choose to go to hell, but a criminal of a severe enough crime will face justice here. You can't just steal and kill without consequence. The difference being that instead of jail, you just get, tortured for days, months, or years, depending on the crime, of course. I don't imagine that's something you ever get used to, huh? Oh, not at all. It's excruciating.
It is what it is.
But hey, you don't need to worry about it if you're not a criminal. It's not just whipping or like the other. It's not just whipping or the like either. Greek myth was pretty accurate in the stories of Hades, a punishment to fit the crime. What? Is Sisyphus rolling his rock up the hill somewhere out there? Huh. While they got our general system of justice right, Greek myths are still just myths. What should I ask about hell? Okay, the time of day. So, are you working the night shift? No, it's always night in hell. Unless it's twilight, though, which only lasts for 1 hour each day. It's gonna mess with your internal clock for a bit, but you'll get used to it. It certainly brings a new meaning to going all night, though. Oh, God. About demons. Well, you've got two overarching types. The ones ones that have always been demons ever since Lucifer fell, and the ones that became demons over time. Wait, over time? I can turn into a demon? If they think you're exceptional enough, as they phrase it. They're called promoted. Basically, a 100-year intern before you turn into whatever you best fit.
Wow.
I bet you'd make a pretty good succubi. Ramon, you can't be doing this! You can't be saying things like this! Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be so red after this. Hey! What? Who wouldn't want to shift sexes at will? That would be interesting. It could be useful. And because physical sex is fluid to the race, succubi is the gender neutral across all genders. Interesting. Well, maybe you're a cheeky little bastard that likes to screw around and entertain folks. Or maybe you just like being to turn into a furry, in which case the imp would suit you best. If you're the smart-ass wizard or witch that employs the imp to do its bidding, then a sloth is what you'd become. A little more devilish and managerial, like yours truly, then you'd be a mammon. Or maybe you're an insatiable thrill seeker that would make you a glutton. But if you're suffering from a major case of identity crisis, then a changeling is your calling. Look, changeling would be cool. That's quite a few subspecies to choose from. Well, it's not something you just choose between after all. When you're promoted, your soul turns you into the demon that best fits what type of person you are. Though, if you know yourself well enough, I bet you could take an educated guess. If you ever get lost on what type of demon is which, though, you can always refer back to this convenient chart they give us during orientation. Ramon held out a cheesy-looking pamphlet to me. For me. Oh my goodness, I love this. I love all of the art. It's so cute. Oh goodness. Please tell me I get to please tell me I can refer back to this at any point. Please, please. I love the art. I love the little chart. Huh, that's surprisingly convenient. This question gets asked a lot, so this pamphlet was made just for people like you. Should I ask about? I think I've gone through everything. I don't have any more questions. No more questions.
Great, because we're almost to my car.
Wham! Thud, thud. Ramon is suddenly cut off while crossing the street by a car bearing down on him. It seems that the laws of physics still exist after death, however, as Ramon is sent flying over the roof of the car and tumbling several feet on the pavement before coming to a stop. The car doesn't even brake, speeding off to who knows where. Shit! Ramon? However, as I run to retrieve my guide and only actual friend down here, his body simply vanishes into nothing. What?
This is a great time to explain death.
Holy shit. I knew that he was gonna come back, but it still somehow, startled me. Ah! I spin around to see Ramon standing behind me with a mile-wide grin on his face.
You just come back. Though, mind you, a demon like me gets priority in line. Humans have to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Though, that's not always a bad thing.
Uh-huh. Wipe the blood off his face. Does he really not notice? I reach into my pocket and pulled out a spare handkerchief I still had on my body and slowly brought it up to his face. Hey, what are you... I wasn't entirely certain where his wounds were, so I just focused on wiping up the blood on his forehead as carefully as I could. His blood looked like lava, warm too, and I'm surprised it didn't just burn through the fabric. Once I was certain the blood was cleared up, I smiled for him. There we go. I got most of it.
I see.
Thanks. Ramon blushes slightly. No problem. Though, try not to scare me like that again, yeah?
Wow.
Ramon, relax. Aw, you missed me. I huffed at his dismissive tone on the matter, but couldn't help but blush myself at his reaction. So, as I was saying, we're actually getting pretty close to where I live now. It's actually not that far from the hotel, so if anyone needs my guidance, I can offer it. But you seemed lost, so I figured it'd be a good time to give you a small tour of the city. I take another look around at all the sights and sounds in Hell, and how oddly familiar it all really is. It's actually kind of eerie how much it resembles Earth. Sort of like a cold reflection you'd look at in a mirror at the dead of night. So, did that make Earth its own kind of hell? It was a troubling thought. Figuring out the mysteries of the universe there, Ghostly. Huh? What? Oh, sorry, I must have let my thoughts get away from me. Were you saying something? Well, now that you've got a feel for hell, it's time for you to decide where you'd like to stay. Do you want to head back to the hotel? Or maybe you'd want to come stay with me? I feel my face flush at the offer as I watch his eyebrows wiggle suggestively. What kind of question even was that? Was he coming on to me? Did I want him to be coming on to me? I mean, I really only just met the guy. Would it be right to take him up on his offer and go to his place? Ah! Okay, calm down. I just have to pick the logical solution here. I'm gonna go back to the hotel. I managed to calm myself down just enough to think clearly about the whole situation. That's alright, I'll just go back to the hotel. Smart. It'd be kinda weird to stay over at the house of someone you just met. Oh, was he asking me as a test or something? Which means I passed. I guess I'm relieved to not be flustered now, but I'm not sure if Ramon was actually flirting with me now or not. Besides, no company means I don't need to worry about anyone seeing me in the buff. Wait, what? Anyway, take this. It has my number on it already. Ramon hands me a slightly older model smartphone. I could only only imagine it's free due to its age, but it'll probably still work as a phone just fine. I'll text you my address, just be there tomorrow morning and we'll go from there. Sure thing. Oh man, you're gonna be a treat, I can feel it.
Hasta luego.
And welcome to hell. Ramon turns and heads off, heading to his home, most likely. My face still feels hot for some reason as he's leaving. Shaking my head, I turn around and start making my way back to the hotel. Oh, wrong thing. It doesn't take me long to get back. That's Ramon's voice. It doesn't take me long to get back, though it does make me realize that I probably should have had it back sooner. There's a huge queue in front of the receptionist's desk from all the people waiting to get their room assigned to them. I can only sigh and get in line, waiting to find out where I'll be staying. This is nice. After what felt like hours, I finally enter the room assigned to me. And given how many people were looking for rooms, I'm surprised to see how accommodating the small room is. The front door opens into the kitchen, but it's fully furnished with food and drinks and even some ready-made meals that just need to be cooked. There's a living room attached to a bedroom and a small bathroom in there. I'd certainly seen apartments back in life that were far less accommodating than this. They really weren't kidding when they said hell takes care of people. That's such a weird thing to think and say, let alone know is true. Still, the moment I enter my room, I feel a wave of exhaustion hit me like a ton of bricks. It seems dying really takes it out of you. Even if I'm hungry, I can't wait until the morning. I can wait until the morning. I flop over on the bed and relish in that it's actually pretty comfortable, more than enough for me to sleep on. My mind ponders over whether or not I made the right choice by coming to hell by myself. The people I met in Limbo were awfully nice, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be. All I can do now is focus on moving forward in my life in hell, which starts by getting my hands on my death report and finding out how I died. Until then, I can't see myself settling down. Those were my last thoughts before I faded away into sleep. The jingle of my phone's alarm wakes me up the next morning. Part of me feels rested, the other part feels groggy. It's been a while since I felt this conflicted waking up. My hand snakes over from the covers to grab the phone, swiping the alarm off before checking the time. 8:03 a.m. Who wakes up this early? I groan as I sit up. Seeing that I'm awake now, I might as well stay awake. At the very least, I can see that Ramon was true to his word and texted me his address and instructions on how to get to his place. I text back that I'll be there in an hour or two and make my way out of bed. The first thing I do is take a shower and prepare myself for the rest of the day. While in there, I The realization that I'm dead and now in a new place weighs heavily on me once again. It's funny how much that seems to haunt me when there's nothing immediately around me to distract me from the reality I've found myself in. All the more reason to get my death certificate. I won't be able to rest easy until I know how I died. I end my shower early, finding myself to be clean enough before going through a short routine to take care of my looks. The growl of my stomach reminds me that I still need food despite being dead, so I make myself a quick breakfast as well. Ready-made waffles and a glass of OJ. It's pretty good. Once I finish eating, I check the time and see that I've already wasted an hour on waking up and getting ready. I text Ramon I'm heading out now and start making my way towards his address, using the map feature on the phone. The instructions on this thing are surprisingly easy to follow despite having never been in hell for more than a day. I imagine the thing was made to be extremely new user-friendly, which I'm grateful for. I soon find myself at a high-end apartment complex, a place so nice looking I feel a little out of place. Guiding souls to hell must pay pretty well. I greet the doorman and present the text from Ramon saying he told me to meet him here. Apparently Ramon sent word down that I was expected and he let me in, giving me instructions on how to get to his place. Riding the elevator up to the penthouse level, I can only imagine how nice Ramon's place is. And as I knock on his door, the man in question opens the door smiling happily. Okay. Also has a wife and a kid, but also... Good morning, Ghostly. Sleep well. While at first glance Ramon looked dressed and ready to go, I was actually able to spot that he had just finished tending to his hair. I guess I interrupted him as he was getting ready. Better than expected, to be honest, given the whole first night in hell apart. I can imagine, though it's been a while since I had my first night here myself. Wasn't nearly as pleasant as yours, that's for sure. We should be able to head off and grab your documents in just a few minutes. For now, just wait here while I finish up. Ramon smiles and steps out again, slipping upstairs and into his bedroom. I just take a moment to look around at his penthouse while he's getting ready, impressed with how pretty it is. There's a huge amount of space and a lot of decorated windows all over the place. The view out into hell is pretty nice from up here. I make my way over to the couch and sit down and wait. I sit there for a few minutes, just twiddling my thumbs as I keep looking around. My eyes wander over to the Peach pet house that seems oddly out of place, seeing as I don't see any animals around here. Does Ramon have a pet? Maybe the big box that reads Ariel is the name of his pet? It's hard to know. Oh, Jesus. I get startled so easily in games, y'all. Can you tell? I'm a very jumpy person. I glance at the door, wondering what Ramon wants to do about it. Damn it, they're here already. I can hear Ramon's voice up above me, clearly still getting ready in his room. Hey, Ghostly, can you get the door for me? Just tell them I'm still getting ready. Ramon's voice calls down to me from the top of the stairs. Yeah, sure thing. Well, I guess I can do that. Should I answer the door? Answer it. Oh! Yeah, it's, I'm guessing, the ex-wife and the child. Standing outside is a sharply dressed demoness and a small child of maybe 6 or 7 years. She eyes me sharply before pushing past me into the apartment. Rude.
Don't bother introducing yourself. I don't care who you are. Where's Ramon?
Cool. He's getting ready. Who are you exactly? She eyes me again, looking as if she wants to file her nails on the back of my eyes for even asking her that.
Irene! You're not supposed to be here today.
Ramon steps out of the bedroom, and a confused frown on his face as he eyes the woman.
In fact, I was expecting a delivery. The company said the driver would be here around 9:30 for my signature.
Hardly important, but that twink ran away right after he saw me. Smartest man I've met in the last few years.
And I was really looking forward to getting that Roomba.
Irene sends Ramon the flattest look I have ever seen. Sorry, but, what's going on? This is Irene, my former wife, and our child, Ariel. Hi, Daddy.
Morning, mijo.
For once, Ramon's tone gets really soft and, dare I say, cutesy. Ariel smiled up at him with wide sparkling eyes.
Which is why I'm here. I can't watch Ariel today. I'm in dire need of a day off and can't wait for tomorrow.
I understand, but I kind of have company today, Irene. I'm busy.
Ariel has just been such a handful recently. They can't do anything by themselves and come to me for everything.
Uh-huh. 'Cause they're 6. Maybe, Irene, it's because they're 6. I hate people like that. 'Cause they're 6, and you chose to be a parent.
I've practically no time to myself.
'Cause you're a parent. And it's okay to sometimes need time to yourself. But what it seems like is that this is a recurring thing. Wait, isn't that what kids do? Yeah, exactly. That's how kids are, though. Ramon looks about as confused as I feel, though it seems he's already lost this debate. Irene gently pushes Ariel into Ramon's direction before simply turning around and exiting the apartment.
I need this day off now. I've got a particularly large assignment I need to accomplish tomorrow night, and I can't handle it if I'm dealing with all this stress. You'd think they'd account for all the overtime recently, but no! I'm the only one available to take care of this. If I don't take this day off, then I'm not going to have a day off for the next 3 weeks, Ramon. So, you're going to look after Ariel today. Do I make myself clear?
Yeah. With that seemingly settled, Irene turns around and starts walking out the door, still grumbling to herself as she does.
I slave over burning plains of torment and damnation and righteous fury and...
Her voice only fades once the door finally closes, and Ramon and I turn to meet each other's gazes. Then we both turn to look at Ariel. Well, I suppose this puts a wrench into our plans. Despite this, Ramon smiles jovially, bending down and scooping up Ariel with a grin.
How's my favorite little bundle of hellfire doing today?
Ramon shifts demeanor entirely, beginning to coo at Ariel, the kid giggling and laughing at their father's antics. And then there's me, just standing here, watching. From Demon Daddy to Demon Father. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I was, because we heard him on the phone. And I was like, I know that that man is gonna have an ex-wife, is gonna have a kid. In fact, should I even stay here now? I wasn't expecting him to have this kid with him. Am I intruding? Or is it rude if I just leave? Should I stay or leave Ramon with this kid? I'm gonna say I should probably get going. Yeah, I'm feeling really awkward here. I'm a complete stranger to his kid, and I don't want her to feel weird around me, not to mention I don't want to get in the way of Ramon being a good dad. Yeah. Hey, Ramon, look, I really appreciate everything you've done for me so far, but I think I'll come back tomorrow so you can take care of your kid. I don't want to be a bother. I promise you're not, but if you'd feel more comfortable heading out. Yeah, I think I would. Sorry. Hey, no need to apologize, honest. None of this is your fault. If anything, I should be apologizing to you. Being put on the spot to deal with my family situation wasn't what you signed up for. You can say that again. Well, you've got my number at least. Just give me a text or a call when you're ready to take another shot at getting your report. Of course. I promise you we're going to get your death report. Your death report, okay? No point in abandoning you after we've come this far. Oh, well, I was thinking I could just head over to wherever they hand out death reports and try my luck for today, at least. Ramon looks at me curiously, though I can tell he isn't happy about my suggestion. Do you know where they are? I was hoping for directions. I give a sheepish smile, and Ramon just lets out a sigh. Hopeless, really. You'll want to head for the Sin, Atonement, and Social Services. They're the ones in charge of cataloging death reports. But you should also hurry if you're going to head that way. Not only is traffic notoriously bad in hell, but their offices tend to close at really inconvenient hours. Then, without a guide, such as myself, you'll likely be stuck with hours and hours of paperwork and waiting. Ugh, certainly doesn't sound appealing at all. Just as I reconsidered leaving on my own, little Ariel tugs at Ramon's clothes to get his attention. Do they not like me, Daddy? Shh, no, Mio. It's absolutely fine. They're just busy is all. Oh, I feel bad now. I want to hang out, but I'm a stranger to this kid. That seems kind of weird. Okay. He coos and pats their back to try and stop them from crying. Yeah, I definitely need to go. No, you need to stay and reassure. No, you don't actually have to. At the very least, I can try and get the process started for you, even if it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So I'll see you later, okay? Sure thing, Ghostly. You stay in touch now. I turn around and start to make my way out of Ramon's apartment before he stops me. Oh, before you go, let me give you something for the road. Hold out your hand. A little confused, I do as he says and hold out my hand. He places his hand on top of mine, and a sigil begins to glow on his hand. Then suddenly, a similar sigil appears on my own. Since you just arrived, you're not going to have any money, so I went ahead and transferred a few credits to you. Huh? Are you saying this sigil thing is like a debit card or something? That's a pretty good comparison, though instead of drawing funds from a bank you have no control over, they're attached directly to your soul. I'm not sure I'm able to wrap my head around how that works. I don't really get the intricacies of it myself either, but all I really need to know is that magic's a hell of a drug. You take care of yourself out there. I will. The door to Ramon's place closes behind me as I step out, leaving him to care for his child. Part of me feels bad for leaving him like this, but it really can't be helped. It's not like Ramon could predict his ex-wife was gonna drop by unannounced and drop the burden of parental responsibility on him. I'm not upset at Ramon for having a family. I'm more just frustrated at it coming between me and learning how I died. I just have to let it go for now and find my way around. First things first, I need directions. Thankfully, most of the citizens of Hell walking around were friendlier than I thought they would be. Oh, she's cute! I really like her hair and her horns. They're so cute. Hey, do you know where the Sin Atonement and Social Services is?
Oh, sure thing. Just follow the highway until you see a row of office buildings across from the Natural Hell Rock Museum. Can't miss it.
While the directions were at least straightforward, I thanked the random demon and continued my way deeper into hell. Neon lights and shining billboards decorate the skies, sitting on top of skyscrapers that seem to reach into an endless nighttime sky. It reminds me a lot of Japan, actually. The streets are packed with humans and demons alike, some socializing, some looking around, but most seemed to know where they were headed and moved with purpose. The roads were packed to the brim with cars, and a few curious glances inside showed most of them were packed to the brim with people or demons. It seemed that hell really did have an overpopulation problem. I'd been following the highway for what felt like hours now, and having seen how congested the road was the entire way, it doesn't seem like driving would have been a better option. The trek felt like it took forever, but finally I saw it come into sight right away from the Natural Hell Rock Museum, like they said. My step picked up and I rushed over towards the building. I knew I was in the right place since the name was written on the side of the wall in big letters: Sin, Atonement, and Social Services. And just behind the front door was a sign saying they were closed for the night. Damn it! Frustration and anger bubbled over inside of me as I stared at the sign. Ramon had warned me they closed at really inconvenient hours, and it seemed he was right. It was an exhausting trek across what felt like half the city just to get here and be turned away just because some stupid paper pushers wanted to take a break from work. Okay, that wasn't really fair. With how many people were in hell, they were probably busy most days and deserved to rest as much as anyone else. I'm just frustrated. I'm tired of walking. Not to mention, it had clearly been hours, but the sky was still dark as night, which was messing with my perception of time and not helping things. Would they be open in an hour or two, or would it be closer to 10? I could wait right here until they open, but the sign says they're closed tomorrow. That means I'd literally be waiting for more than a day, and I'm not prepared for that. I kick at the cement beneath my feet before turning around and wandering aimlessly back into the heart of the Lust Circle. Where was I supposed to go now? Obviously, I could just go back to Ramon's place, but walking there would take even longer than it did to get here. Maybe I could take a cab, but the roads were still packed to the brim. Besides, with what money? Oh wait, right, Ramon gave me some cash. Glancing down at the sigil Ramon placed on my hand, I wonder just how much I actually have to spend. Would it be enough for a cab ride? Or maybe even a hotel for the night? Were the hotels in hell, given the nature of the Lust Circle, they were probably more like Japanese love hotels. I was lost in my own thoughts, having walked around for who knows how long, when I noticed that the crowds had thinned around me a bit. Glancing around, I noticed that I was in one of the quieter parts of town, though still quiet, busy compared to a quiet place back on Earth. The buildings in this area were clearly a bit different from the main street, where those businesses seemed to put sex and lust as their main selling points. These businesses were a bit more subtle with their implications. Alright. I actually think that is going to be where we end it for tonight, y'all. I am very tired, and I love this game so much, but it's so much talking for me, so it kind of takes it out of my throat and on my voice. But yeah, so I think that's gonna be all for tonight, everybody. Yep, that's gonna be all for tonight. As per usual, if you want to see any previous games that I've played or any VODs, please check out my YouTube channel. That's where all of them get uploaded to. It is Ghostly Demigod, like my Twitch name, and it is also linked in my Twitch account. So definitely, I highly suggest going and checking that out if you want to. If you liked what you saw in this stream, I would love if you gave me a follow. Of course, you don't have to, no pressure. But if you want to see more content like this, and you want to be notified when I go live, I would highly suggest giving me a follow. I think that's all for tonight, though. So, good night, goodbye, and I'll see you next time, my beautiful little ghosties.